Namaste. Welcome you all for the yoga session. In this session we shall look at some of the basic movements of the foot. Foot is an amazing piece of system that we have. It helps us in all our locomotion, standing, walking, running, jogging, etc. Foot has a number of bones. Feet consists of 25% of the total number of bones that we have. The tibia and fibula, the two bones from the lower leg, articulate with a bony structure called the thallus, and the thallus sits on the calcaneus, that is the heel bone. So that is the basic supporting structure. Then we have a number of metatarsals and then the phalanges, which are minute bones that make our movements possible so that we can go through even uneven surfaces. Take a look at your right foot. You can see the two bony protrusions, and that is the heel bone. Just above is the thallus. There is a subtalar joint, then two bony projections, one on the medial side, another on the lateral side. Then you have the phalanges, metatarsals, and the anterior dorsal region. Then you have the medial arch of the foot. It's quite significant in the healthy or normal foot. It does a lot of absorption of shocks. Then you have one more arch on the lateral side, the lateral arch, not as significant as the medial arch. That's the lateral arch. Then you have a transverse arch along the top surface, you can observe. You can take a close look at the medial arch, quite significant, does a lot of shock absorption when we run, jog and all that. Then you have a transverse arch also. Let us look at two basic movements of the foot. Keep a blanket folded, rest the right ankle joint. Now the foot is in neutral, toes pointing straight up. Now stretch the toes pointing forward. This movement is called the plantar flexion of the foot. You may also notice that the toes are also in plantar flexion where they are bent forward. Bring it to neutral and then stretch the toes towards the knee, stretching the heel. You will see that this is the dorsiflexion movement, where the calf muscle is stretched. One more time, bring it to neutral and then move slowly to plantar flexion. Here the calf muscle, you have to contract further. Feel the ankle joint. Feel the phalanges, metatarsals, then the toes and the other bony segments below that. Bring it to neutral. Move the toes again towards the knee. Experience the dorsiflexion. These two are very important movements of the foot. Bring it to neutral. Chain. Rest the left foot. Now stretch the toes. You can watch the two bony protrusions. They are called as the malleolus. One on the medial side, another on the lateral side. And they are formed by the two bones of the lower leg. Now bring the foot to neutral and stretch the toes towards the knee. This is the dorsiflexion. The two bones from the lower leg, the tibia and the fibula, you should watch. Now move the foot to plantar flexion again. The tibia and fibula, the two long bones from the lower leg, the tibia on the medial side, that is towards the midline of the body, and fibula on the outside. Again move the foot to dorsiflexion. They articulate with the bone, the talus, and the talus articulates with the heel bone, calcaneus. Relax the foot. Between the talus and calcaneus is another joint that is referred to as the subtalar joint. So they, in many of the movements, they act together. They are not strictly isolated. Sit in the cross-legged, keep the blanket folded. Now we shall try similar movements in the standing stance. Stand upright. Rest the heel on the folded blanket, toes on the mat. So this is a simple way to get the plantar flexion, and you will also see that the subtalar joint also will experience similar movement. Now come back and chain. Base of the toes on the blanket, heel on the mat. So experience a mild dorsiflexion of the foot. Be strong on both the legs, pull the kneecap. You can increase this range by increasing the height of the blanket. Slowly come back. Now we shall keep one more blanket so that the height is increased. By increasing the height, we are trying to increase the range of movement at the ankle. Keep two blankets folded, stand upright in front, heel on the top of the blanket, toes on the mat, stand upright. Now you can see this is a good plantar flexion for the ankle joint, and also you see that the heel bone slides. Now that is also the plantar flexion of the subtalar joint. Stand upright. Slowly come down. Now we move to the dorsiflexion, base of the toes on the blanket, heel on the mat, but stand upright. Dorsiflexion for the ankle joint, and you will also experience a dorsiflexion in the subtalar joint. That is a joint below the ankle. It's a very broad kind of joint that also experiences a sort of sliding. Slowly come down. Sit in the cross-legged posture. You just look at some of the movements of the foot. Flex your right leg, just lift it slightly up. Now move it, hold the knee, the movement should not come from the knee. Turn the foot towards the midline of the body, that is called the supination. So that you have to slightly bend it forward and twist it to you. Then slightly lift it up and turn the surface of the foot away from the midline of the body, that is called as the pronation. So now what you are doing is the supination, turning the foot towards the midline of the body, then turning it away is pronation. For turning it towards the surface, you need to slightly plantar flex, that is stretch the toes back and do. You can see from the other angle, this is supination. But bend the foot slightly forward and then tilt it towards you. Then lift it slightly up and turn it away. This is called the pronation. This is also somewhat similar to inversion and eversion, and these two are very important movements. You can observe the same thing on your left leg. Hold the left leg, bend the foot slightly forward and turn the surface of the foot towards the midline of the body. This is supination and somewhat similar to inversion. Now move the surface of the foot away, that is pronation. One more time, supination, then pronation, and ensure that the knee is not involved. That is why we have lifted and holding the leg. Relax the foot, Keep the folded blanket in front, stand upright. Now we shall examine these two in the standing posture. Press the medial arch, that is the inner edge of the foot, on the edge of the mat, allowing the outer edge of the right foot to rest on the floor, that is inner edge at a height, outer edge pressed on the mat, inner edge on the blanket. You can see that the surface of the foot is turned towards the midline of the body, that's why it is called supination. It is also in some sense similar to inversion. Now chain. Outer edge of the left foot on the mat, inner edge on the folded blanket, and keep the legs straight. Stand upright. So this inversion and eversion, what you are seeing is similar to inversion. The inversion and eversion are very important. We should train the foot to and all the joints there to get used to these movements. Otherwise, these movements are the ones, if the foot is caught off the guard by virtue of either some bad surface, then they are the major sites of injury. Now one more time. Rest the heel at the center of the mat and do the inversion. You can experience a better stretch. Left leg is only helping to hold the blanket stable. So this is also inversion. Now we can see that the heel is on top of the edge of the blanket, outer edge resting on the mat. Stand upright. Slowly take the right foot back, then chain. Left heel on the center of the mat and invert the ankle at the surface of the foot towards the midline of the body. First we kept the complete foot at the edge, now we are keeping only the heel. So that is the difference. So these movements are very, very essential to keep the complete assembly of the foot healthy. Slowly come back, stand upright. Now we shall keep the outer edge of the right foot on the edge of the blanket, inner edge on the mat. So this is the pronation. Can also be seen as eversion of the foot. Outer edge on the folded blanket, inner edge resting on or towards the mat. Legs straight. So the foot is trained with all these things. It gives us a great protection. Chain. Press the outer edge of the left foot on the folded mat, taking the inner edge towards the mat. This is pronation. So watch the foot. Keep the legs straight. Slowly come back, stand upright. Now keep the little toe, base of the little and the second and the middle toe, the base of that ball of the metatarsal region, and then press. Rest them on the outer edge, taking the toe towards the mat. So essentially we are giving a nice twist for the foot. This is also similar to eversion, but instead of placing the whole foot, we are placing only the front of the foot. But keep the legs straight. Slowly come up. Chain. Place the left foot on the edge of the mat. Only the three small toes or the base of the three small toes on the edge of the mat, and the inner edge resting on the mat. That is the way to stand. So you should experience that pronation. Come back. Sit in the all fours position. Palm below the shoulders, knee below the hips, trunk nearly parallel to the ground. Watch your foot, toes pointing back. This is similar to the plantar flexion. Now bend back. When you bend back, you have some more advantage. You can further intensify the plantar flexion by stretching the toes back and squeezing the calf muscle. So now what you are doing is plantar flexion. Slowly come up, fold the toes in, inhale, exhale, rise the hips up, head down, stretch the trunk, arms straight, press the palm, press the heel down. Now this is called Adho Mukha Svanasana, in which the foot gets into dorsiflexion. Again, come down, stretch the toes back, bend back in Bhujangasana, stretch the toes, squeeze the calf muscle. Here the foot moves into plantar flexion. So this is a very interesting sequence of movement which is very popularly used in many dynamic movements and sun salutation in particular. One more time, fold the toes in, hips up, head down, keep the palm pressed, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can lift the toes to press the heel so that foot experiences a good dorsiflexion, and the gastrocnemius muscle, the calf muscle, gets a good stretch. Slowly come down, relax in the all fours. So these are varieties of movements in which the dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of foot are involved. Sit upright in the cross-legged posture. Watch your breathing. You must watch the movement of the foot as you are doing, get involved. Now flex the right foot, keep it in front, slightly lift it, hold the heel and pull it towards you, the heel, and then push it away from you. This is happening This movement is happening between the heel bone and the talus. These are the subtalar joint. Now you can press the heel and then move the foot forward and backward. So this is the flexion, plantar flexion and dorsiflexion of the subtalar joint. When you move it towards you, it is plantar flexion, away from you is dorsiflexion. Hold. Now pull the heel towards you, it is plantar flexion. Move it away from you, it is dorsiflexion. Keep it. Now pull the heel towards you, then away from you. Pull it closer, move it with the heel pressed. Here also you can experience that plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. It is a sliding action below the ankle joint, that between the heel and the talus bone. This is also another interesting moment that we see. Sit upright. Take your right leg forward, press the fingertips on the floor, press the heel and move the foot forward. Now keeping the heel fixed, pull the foot towards you and then push it away. Left side, raise the toes up, push the heel, press the toes. And rise, push. Then take it back. So these are all ways to look at the subtalar joint movement. Sit upright. Now keep the heel down, flex the right leg. Now move it, the bottom surface, towards the midline of the body. This is called the supination, and move it away. This is called the pronation, but this is happening from the subtalar joint, not from the ankle. So this to demonstrate the mobility of the subtalar joint. This is the joint between the heel and the talus. Move the surface of the foot inward. That's why here you may notice that so this is supination, and move it out, that is pronation. So you may notice that we are trying to hold the ankle and the knee stable, trying to move the subtalar joint. Now fix the heel, slightly move the foot towards the midline and then away from the midline. When you move towards the midline, this is called adduction. When you move away from the midline, it is abduction. So this is also possible from the subtalar joint. Move in and move out. A very small movement, but nonetheless this is from the subtalar joint. Again on the left side, press the heel and move. This should give you an understanding of the various movements that are possible at the foot. Don't use the knee. From the knee it will be quite large, but fix the knee and try to mobilize only that subtalar region. That's below the ankle. That is what is important. Move it in, move it out. That is the adduction and abduction movement possible at the subtalar joint. So that is the reason why foot has got that amazing ability to adapt to variety of movements, variety of surfaces. Sit in the cross-legged posture, but you should notice that many times the movements are combined. Sit upright. Many of the movements are combined. Okay, now stand up. Spread both the foot about 2 feet apart, foot parallel to one another. Have a larger base. Stand upright. We are going to now look at the inversion and eversion of the foot. So you can see here, pressing the outer edge is inversion, pressing the inner edge is eversion. Roll the ankle, press the outer edge. This is the inversion of the foot. Experience these two movements. Be strong on both the legs. Bring it to neutral. Press the inner edge, lift the outer edge. This is eversion. Of course, you should notice that these movements are possible because of various participation of other joints also. Slowly come back. We can take a view from the other side. Press the outer edge. Inversion. And then eversion. If you press the inner edge, it becomes eversion. If you press the inner edge, it becomes inversion. These two are very important because these are the type of movements when done unknowingly one can get into a lot of injuries of the ankle joints, ankle sprains. You can try these movements a couple of times. So doing these movements helps the various ligaments and muscles to get used to these kind of movements so that the ankle injuries can be prevented or minimized. Join the foot, stand upright, now lift the heel up. You can see the toes, the base of the toes, the metatarsals. This is the dorsiflexion. Similarly, left side. Now that phalanges, they are in dorsiflexion. Foot is also in dorsiflexion. Left foot down. Both heels up. Experience that nice dorsiflexion and see how the phalanges adjust themselves minutely to balance how they adapt, slowly come down. One more time, heel up on the base of the toes. See how the metatarsals and phalanges, which are in dorsiflexion, also those minute joints adapt themselves to balance, slowly come down. Right heel up, then fold the toes inward. This is the plantar flexion of the phalangeal joints and the metatarsals. This is another important movement. Toes folded on the mat. Bring it back. Chain on the left side. Heel up, fold the toes in. Smaller toes are not that effectively folded in this posture, but nonetheless these phalangeal and metatarsal joints have this ability to get into plantar flexion. Now take your right foot slightly forward. Raise the heel up on your toes, then flex the toes into plantar flexion. Slowly come back onto the top of the toes, then bring them to dorsiflexion, then heel down. Again heel up, toes in dorsiflexion. Stretch the toes, toes in neutral, then flex the toes, toes in plantar flexion. Then slowly come back. Neutral, then fold dorsiflexion, then bring the heel down. Repeat on the left leg. Take the left foot slightly forward. Place the foot properly. Raise the heel. Now the toes in dorsiflexion. Straighten the toes. Then flex the toes into plantar flexion. Then similarly come back. Come to neutral, then dorsiflexion, then heel down. So these movements help all the intricate muscles, joints and ligaments. One more time. Heel up on your toes, flex the toes. Extend the toes. Press the toes, then the heel. So all these movements demonstrate the marvelous movements that the foot gives us. Stand upright. Right heel up. Press the base of the toes and revolve these joints. You see, they give this ability to have this sort of a rotating movement, the circumduction. Rotate it clockwise, anti-clockwise. For that you have to raise the heel, press the base of the phalanges and turn. And chain the foot. Raise the left heel, then rotate the heel clockwise and anti-clockwise. So all these things go a long way in helping the foot, because foot consists of 25% of the number of bones that we have. Feet is such a complex system. Now take your right foot slightly ahead, then lift the toes, fold the toes back, then relax. Now fold the toes inward. You're doing the plantar flexion of the phalanges and the metatarsals, as though you're increasing the arch of the foot. Then pressing the heel, stretch and place the foot completely on the mat. Again raise the toes up, dorsiflexion. Then keep the toes down and fold them in, lifting the arch of the foot. You can feel the complete arch of the foot, both the medial arch, lateral arch, transverse arch. Then press the foot completely on the mat. Looking from the other angle, raise the toes up, press the base of the toes, keep the toes down, and then fold them in, increase the arch of the foot. So you have to use all the minute joints, the phalangeal and the metatarsal joints. Then slowly stretch the foot, place them on the mat, change side, left leg. Stretch the toes up. Keep the toes down, then fold them in, increasing the arch of the foot. Both medial and lateral arch should increase. Each foot has 26 bones. Now we'll stretch and keep the foot. One more time. Hold the toes in, increase the arch of the foot, plantar flexion for the phalangeal and metatarsal joints, stretch the foot, keep it on the mat. One more time, toes up, press the base of the toes, stretch the toes, fold them in, increase the arch of the foot. So all these movements in general rejuvenate the minute joints and a multitude of ligaments and muscles so that the foot can remain healthy. Press the foot. Sit down, flexing the knee, join the foot. It's called the Kakasana. Then raise the heel. Watch your toes, base of the toes. Ankle and the phalanges. You should watch. slowly descend, heel on the mat. One more time. You can keep the fingertips on the floor, rise the heel up. And then, if possible, take out the palms up so that the toes not only get a good movement but also they tend to stabilize. See how the minute joints and the bones keep on continuously adjusting. Look at the dynamics to balance, slowly come down. So these kind of movements would rejuvenate the complete foot. Now on your toes and then bend the toes. You can use the hand support. Again go back. So see how from dorsiflexion of the phalanges, move up on the tip of the toes, then flex them into plantar flexion. Then again come back. Sit upright. Stretch both legs forward. Fold a blanket. Join the knee, join the heel, sit on the heel. This is called Vajrasana. In Vajrasana you experience a very nice plantar flexion. Watch the arch of the foot. Watch your toes. Now cross the left ankle upon the right. You can turn the right ankle. Keep a blanket on the right heel and sit on the left heel. So you can see that the complete foot gets into a very soft pressure of the self weight. So this is one good way to relax the foot. It takes out the fatigue from the foot. In the modern day, foot getting into fatigue is quite common because of our changed lifestyle. So this is a simple variation of Vajrasana to remove the fatigue in the foot. So this kind of a posture gives a good soothing pressure on the complete foot. Slowly get up, take out the blanket, then change the legs. Keep the folded blanket on the left foot. Rest the right foot on the blanket and sit on the right foot. So feel the pressure on the foot. Sit upright. Breathe at ease. watch your breathing, watch the complete foot, both the left and the right, the heel and the sole, the arches of the foot, all those regions, pay attention. Slowly get up, take out the blanket, join the heel, keep the blanket between the hip and the heel and sit upright. Vajrasana also helps to relieve the tension in the feet. Vajrasana is one of the postures which can be done at any time. Get up, take out the blanket. Join the heel, again sit in Vajrasana. We are looking at changing some supports in this Vajrasana. Take the folded blanket, knee on the folded blanket, and then stretch the toes, join the heel, sit in Vajrasana. You can see that under self-weight, the plantar flexion further intensifies. And also the segments of the foot gets a better movement. Slowly get up. Keep the folded blanket behind. Rest the base of the toes. Join the heel. Base of the toes on the blanket. Then sit on your heel. So this is another way of giving a more pronounced plantar flexion. Of course, they have different effects on the segments of the foot. All this helps you to have a healthy feet, because feet is very complex in terms of its structure and function. So giving them all these varied movements help the kinematic chain that exists in this complex system to be in order, so that we can protect our ankle, and all the minute joints of the foot. And we should also remember that it is one of the foundation structures. If the foot is not in order, it would definitely affect all other joints. Slowly come back, sit upright on the blanket, sit in the cross-legged posture, palm facing upwards, tip of the thumb and index finger in contact. Close your eyes, relax your tongue, nose, throat and the jaws. So doing all these simple movements will help our feet to remain healthy, and they also help to protect all other joints, the knee, the hip, the complete back. Namaste.